And here we are live. Hello and welcome to everybody who's watching. This is myself, gorgeous and amazing self, Alan Jones, and I'm joined most deliciously with the awesome and amazing, equally, even if not more so, amazing Fiona Cutts.
Hi everyone.
So we'd like to welcome you all to being seen, being heard, having fun, and having fun is kind of really what a lot of life is about. It's what all life should be about, shouldn't it? Maybe not. But let's just kind of have a play with that. And you know, how much fun is it for people to be seen?
Here we are
to
live.
Be heard?
Hello.
Welcome to everybody. Bear with me, everybody.
This is myself, gorgeous and amazing self, Alan Jones.
And you've got me on repeat. How awesome is that?
I have to get in this.
Bear with me a second.
Equally.
1 moment, please, viewers. Hi everyone.
Oh.
So we'd like to welcome you all to
And technical. Yay!
How to get any better than this?
Get any better than that?
Technology.
You like to be seen and heard so much that you get it on repeat.
Thank you.
Thank you all for a round of applause. I'm so sorry, I had my screen open and it was directing straight onto YouTube, so how does it get any better than that?
How does it, Alan? How does it get better?
So actually, that might be a really great place to start. So when it comes to being visible, being seen, being heard in the world, Fiona, you know, what happens? You know, how can we deal with that first? I mean, literally, it's been 2 minutes, and already something has happened that could really, really screw someone's confidence.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah. So I guess what I'd say is not holding ourselves too seriously. And you were talking about it being seen, being heard, having fun. So what if we could have fun with everything, even the stuff where we're like, oh my God, it's going wrong. What happens if for the rest of the hangout we can hear ourselves twice and nobody can hear anything? And what if we were okay with that? What if we weren't sitting here being serious? We're about to be seen and heard. Let's be serious. What if it could really just be, okay, here we are. And it's like some of you probably know, or a lot of you online probably know Dane here, and he has that sort of, hi, here I am. So just like, here we are being vulnerable, being seen. And before we came on air, we actually asked to be that space of vulnerability, barriers down, just being us. And in that space where you're just being you, when things go wrong, there isn't that kind of defense and, oh my God, this is the worst thing and we have to get it right. There isn't any of that. It's just like, well, you saw our response. We both just laughed and it went wrong. So how does it get any better than that?
And I guess also as well as part, and we did talk about this, bear with me everybody, I am multitasking, but I am kind of here, honestly. It reminds me of, you know, the conversation we had prior to the show with something that happened in our radio show with myself and Tamara Yonker. And, you know, it was like, what if life is unfuck-upable? And what if Google Hangouts are unfuck-upable? And what if singing is completely unfuck-upable?
Yeah. I love that. Unfuck-upable. I love that.
Yeah, life.
I mean, often in these Right Voice for You live classes, we start by just saying, what would it take to be out of control? So just that space where we don't know what's going to happen. So we don't know what it's going to be like online, live to everybody for the next hour. We just don't know. We don't know what questions are going to come. We don't know what each other are going to say. And it's like, what if we can just be in that space of, okay, what else is possible? What else is possible here? And when we're in that question space, well, truly anything is possible.
And that's the key, isn't it? It's the willingness to be in the question and not to live in conclusion. And you know, so whatever you're doing, whether that's being seen, being heard, or hiding, in order to get out of being hiding, I guess we need to get into the question. So yeah, so let's kind of just tapping into the energy of the hangout itself. Where would it like to go? Where does everyone listening? Where would you like us to go? We have had some questions in already, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, so thank you all for, first of all, you know, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for taking part. We really appreciate you taking the time out. You know, it is Eurovision Song Contest night. And, you know, Talk about being
I can have more fun here than on Eurovision.
Eurovision. Bring it on. Yeah. What it's like for me to be on Eurovision one year. We shall see. So, yeah, thank you all for coming. Thank you for submitting your questions. If you know, either before or after the show, if that's what you're doing. And you know what we really want to get out today is about you really having your voice in your life, however that is, however you would interpret that for you. And it's like being seen to have a voice. So, you know, just to kind of talk about me, because I love talking about me. Who doesn't? Everybody loves talking about me. And, you know, Fiona, this whole thing about being heard and being seen, how often are we willing in some ways to be heard but not seen? You know, I am very comfortable doing my radio show because no one can actually see me. And you know, if I were sitting there doing this every week, I'm sure I would actually probably get really used to it. Instead of doing it on radio, I would be doing it live. But you know, if people have you know, whatever it is, hang-ups, blocks, whatever it is around being seen and being heard, how do we kind of deal with that?
Okay, it's interesting. I guess for you, it may be more being seen than being heard. For a lot of people, I mean, and so I can speak personally. For me, it was both. It was definitely being heard and being seen.
Right.
And so I will talk about both of them. And so I'm going to start just with a question. So for me, it was, I spent a lot of my life hiding away, afraid of being seen, afraid of being heard, being the corner, and then at the same time having this real anger about nobody hearing me, nobody seeing me. And that may be familiar to people, that we're like, if we're honest with ourselves, we're not really willing to be seen and heard, and at the same time it can be like, why isn't anyone seeing me? Why isn't anyone hearing me? And so my first question with that is, are you willing to know that what you have to say matters? Are you willing to hear you? Are you willing to see you?
You know, I'm going to that no with that.
You never know. Okay, how do we get any further than that? Okay, yeah, okay.
And that's ironic, given I have a radio show that I love doing and love playing, and I have this thing around, you know, I love doing a radio show with somebody else, and I love bigging up the other person that I'm doing the radio show with, whether it was Laura who first started it, or whether it's Tamara Juncker who I do it with now, or whether it's the guests we have on. And then when it comes to me, it's like, oh, well, I just kind of sit there and ask questions, and, you know, I don't really kind of add much to it. And I know that's a load of old wank. Sorry, everybody, I do have very foul language. It has to be said. Maybe, anyway, that's a topic for another hangout.
So going back to that, so I asked you, are you willing to be seen? Are you willing to be heard? And you were like, actually, no, I'm not. And maybe there are people online and in the future who are like, no, I'm not. And actually, I asked myself, well, I was asked that question a few months ago, and I was like, partially, but not a complete, full yes. And so the first thing to say is there's nothing wrong with that. So if we ask a question, we get, no, actually, I'm not willing to be seen, I'm not willing to be heard. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's start there, and I'll just use you as an example, and anybody listening in can also gain from what we're doing here. So, Alan, anywhere you're making yourself wrong for being here live on air, not being willing to be seen, not being willing to be heard, are you willing to let go of that, destroy and uncreate that?
Making myself wrong, absolutely.
Making yourself wrong for that, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement just to let go of all of that energy of Alan making himself wrong. So, right and wrong, good and bad, hot and hot, all nine short boys wrong. And I guess a lot of people will actually know that. If you don't know that, then basically it's a way of just bringing up as much of the energy of limitation as possible and then blasting it out of existence. And if you haven't heard it before and you'd like to know more about it, then you can go to theclearingstatement.com and you can just read about it. But for now, I'm just not going to waste time, or not going to spend time on it, I'm just going to carry on using it. So coming back to you, Alan, does that give you a bit more space, just letting go of parts of the making yourself wrong with that.
Absolutely, because how often do we make ourselves wrong? And that's the big thing. It's like we make ourselves wrong for either not being willing, or my voice isn't like that person's, or I can't sing as well, or I haven't got vibrato, or and these are things that even in my head, is because as I was kind of playing with the hangout before we started, and it's the biggest thing out of all of this for me is making myself wrong.
Yeah. So let's do that. Anyway, you're making yourself wrong about any of this, not being willing to be seen, not being willing to be heard, not having as good a voice as somebody else, not singing as well as anybody else, not having the vibrato, blah, 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 blah. And, for the viewers, you can add in whatever your own stuff is. Anyway, you're making yourself wrong around your voice. You're willing to just let go of all of it.
Yes, that's it.
Thank you. Right now, I'm going to have some complimentary answers. So let's ask the original question again. So, Alan, are you willing to hear you and see you?
No.
No. Okay. And so let's just ask. So, would you like that to be a yes?
I would love that to be a yes.
Yeah, so let's just do this. And sometimes the tools of access and right voice for you can be so simple. So, and let's just do this. Anything that doesn't allow you to say yes and come to a yes, we need to try and uncreate that.
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, for the proper matrix. And just to say, if you see my body moving, it's just sometimes when there's a lot of energy around something, my body will just move. So that's what's going on if my body's moving a lot. Okay, so how's that for you, Alan? Is that a bit more spacious?
Yes, it is. The awareness that the thing that jumped into my head as you were asking me that last question was, I'm terrified of seeing actually how awesome I am.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's not that I'm crap.
Yeah. Okay. So truth, is that terror yours?
No. No.
And just to say, for people who don't know that tool, that's one of the first sort of primary tools in access consciousness. So we're all psychic, we all pick up on what's going on for everybody else. And that's sort of not being willing to be seen to be the amazingness, the yumminess that we really are. I mean, how many people in this world think it's okay to just sit here and say, yeah, we're awesome, we know we're awesome. Most people won't allow themselves to do that. We'll have all that sort of judgment. It's arrogant, it's big-headed, blah, blah, blah. So you find out that it's not yours. So are you willing to return it to sender with consciousness attached?
No, because I'm being a superior asshole. Well, yeah, so pot and park everything that is.
Yeah, so just when you just try and uncreate everything that doesn't, well, everything that is it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, are you willing to return it to sender with consciousness attached?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes.
Thank you. Right now, I'm giving that for the vocal mental.
Cool.
But how's that now? Are you still feeling that fear of being that awesomeness that we all know you are? Awesome, Alan. How willing are you to hear that?
Do you know, it's much easier than it has been for a long time.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I am awesome. There's still something sticking. I'm not sure what it is, but,
And again, whatever that is, are you willing to destroy and uncreate it?
Yeah.
Without even knowing what it is. Thank you. Right and wrong. Good and bad.
So,
okay. Yeah. So let's come back to the original. We're going off of tangents, but as much as I can, I'll remember where we were. So, Alan, are you willing to know that, or are you willing to listen to you and see you?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? I hear it in so many different classes or different people that I listen to, and it's like, where are we unwilling to make ourselves the valuable product in our own lives? Where are we unwilling to acknowledge just how awesome we are, and that just by existing, just by being, we contribute to the world? And just the one thing that we could say using our voice, because that's, you know, that's what it is. It's like, and by say I mean, you know, you could be writing using your voice, you could be speaking, whatever it is. It's like knowing that the reason you exist is enough to know that you are valuable to the whole universe, not just this world. And being willing to receive the judgment from people who are unwilling to acknowledge that in themselves. Because that's the biggest thing, isn't it? God, I can't acknowledge that because there are so many people around me who are unwilling to acknowledge their voice and their awesome voice that I daren't do it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Wow. So I just want to ask a related question, which is one I love, and for you and for everybody else, the question from the voice work. So, Alan, are you willing to know that your voice matters in the world?
Truth, am I? Yes, I am.
Yeah, okay. And so let's just do this because there's masses of energy, and obviously I'm not just tapping into your energy, I'm tapping into everybody on the hangout now in the future. So there are some people who maybe aren't so willing to know that their voice matters in the world. So let's just do that.
Yeah.
Anything that doesn't allow you all to know that your voice matters in the world, will you please destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me wrong with that. I'm just going to do that one more time. And sometimes this clearing can go in layers. So, are you willing to know that your voice matters in the world?
Yes.
So, thank you. Anything that doesn't allow that, right and wrong, good and bad,
so there's something else. Sorry, go.
No, I'm just going to say, it's like when we get to that, when we get to that space of actually my voice matters, it can take away what you were saying earlier. Oh, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? And it's like, no, my voice matters, and I'm going to just share what I desire to share, no matter what, even if there are people who are judging me. So for me and Alan, even if there are people who judge us now or in the future for what we're sharing, what we're saying, that's okay. That's okay by us. We're just like, yeah, we desire to get this information out in the world. Mm-hmm. And for me, yeah, it's so true. Each of our voices does matter. Each of us has a key to unlocking some parts of what can bring the world to more consciousness. And if we hide away in the corner and we aren't willing to share whatever our piece of that is, then it's it's a loss to the world.
Yeah, too many.
Too many thoughts. Yeah, I've got that in my mind as well. Loads of stuff going on.
I'm kind of picking up on all sorts of kind of aware energies, and just coming back to that, the voice matters, because there's still something that's sticking people that I'm getting, and I don't know what that is yet. So what's your awareness? What is that that's sticking people, acknowledging that their voice matters? Is there something about making it meaningful and significant?
Yeah.
Misidentifying and misapplying meaning and significance with mattering.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, that word matter can be a bit heavy, and right, if we mix it up with significance. Because what if we could say everything and it wasn't significant? What if, so yeah, let's do this. So anywhere that we've been told that we can't take back words once we've said them, they're so important that, you know, that's it. We've harmed someone, we've harmed ourselves, we said something that's irrevocable, or whatever that is. Should we let go of that, destroy and uncreate that?
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, positive, natural, avoidance, young. And what if it could be? What if Alan or I? What if maybe we already have and we're unaware of it? But what if we could say something that was totally wrong or totally not in the direction we wanted to be going? And what if we could just be, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Or what if I could say to my friend, blah, 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 and it wasn't exactly what I wanted to say, or it upset her, or it offended her, and I could just be like, oh, you know what, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize it would have that effect on you. And it's like, what if there was nothing we could say that would be the most dreadful thing? What if everything was, actually I'm coming back to that, what you were saying earlier, what if everything that comes out of our mouth What if we couldn't fuck it up? What if it was unfuckupable? What if we now? Yeah. So everything that is, shall we destroy and upgrade it?
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, isn't that?
Because there's that thing, isn't it? You know, I remember doing presentation skills when I worked in banking and human resources, and you know, we used to be told things like,
for some reason that makes me laugh. Presentation skills, banking, human resources. Don't know why it all makes me laugh, but anyway, maybe because it's all like a construct. Anyway,
because it's also serious, isn't it? You know, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And you know,
Anyway, carry on.
and it's like, but it's all of that energy, isn't it? It's like it's not meant to be fun. Presentation skills are not meant to be fun. They're supposed to be quite serious. And you know,
Yes.
that bangs in my head that, you know, people listening may have heard as well, is you only get one chance to make a first impression, and if you fuck that up, that's it. You don't get a second bite of the cookie. And you know, how much do we lock ourselves up with that, which is unless and until I feel that I'm ready to make that great first impression, I'm not going to step out, I'm not going to sing, I'm not going to get on stage until I know that I can belt it out there like Placido Domingo and feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about that with these hangouts. It's like, so what if this is just a learning? What if in 6 months' time our hangouts are completely different? And what if it doesn't matter if there's something that's not quite, well, I'm sure there are things that aren't quite perfect. What if it doesn't matter? What if we could just be willing to take that first step? And yeah, exactly. So let's do this anywhere and everywhere. We've bought the lie that it has to be perfect before we start. We have to know what we're doing before we start to get it out there. Should we just let go of that, join and create that?
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, really bad. What cool that should be.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? You know, I've been to, you know, you've had quite a few Right Voice for You classes now, and I've been to one of them before, and it was amazing to see the transformation of people. It really was, seeing them, people who I actually knew prior to the event, standing in front, and it, you know, you could, knowing them, how much it kind of almost, it was so painful for them at first to be willing to step up and do it, and they did it, and they sang, and then you use the Right Voice for You tools with them, and just seeing that transformation, and me standing there, and you know I can sing, and there's still part of me that kind of anyway, fuck that, podpoc that. But to get to the point, you know, there was part of me that didn't want to sing because I didn't because I wanted to sing the right thing for my voice. So it's like, we still keep trying to get it right. I know I do. I struggle with, I've got to get the right song to get. They say that on The Voice. You know the TV show we have in the UK called The Voice, and what's interesting is noticing people singing a song that actually doesn't necessarily work for them, and then they pick another song and it works perfectly. It's like it's all about finding the right song, and then I'm so meaningful and significant.
Yeah, so everything that brings up for you and everyone else, we need to join and create it.
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad. And just to explain, it's like, as long as we're thinking, I have to get it right, I have to get it right, it's all, I'm going like this with my hands, because it's like the right place is maybe this, and we have all of this that we can be, and so we're limiting what we can be, and we're also judging to see whether we're right, whether we've got the right voice, whether we've got the right song, whether we've got this right, that right. So, again, all of that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad. What if there were no right? What if there were no wrong? And so the more that we can be us on this hangout, on this stage, in the class, in the world, the more engaging we can be to other people. And that's actually what people love when somebody's on the stage and they're being themselves, when somebody's up there singing and they're singing as themselves, or they are themselves as they're singing. That's what engages the audience. It isn't the technique or the right song or this or that. And that's what these tools, the access tools and the Right Voice for You tools, that's what they will lead towards.
That reminds me, when I went to see Alison Moyet in concert. And she comes on the stage, she's got her band there, and she's been singing for about 20 minutes, and then she starts singing, the song from Greece. There are words I could do, with Rizzo.
Yeah.
And so she starts singing it, and she just finishes that, and then she freezes. And then she just started laughing and kind of, I've forgotten all the fucking words, was what. And then the audience just kind of carried on singing.
Yeah.
So it was just so funny to see her being so vulnerable. And you know what it actually did with her being that vulnerable was to really endear the audience to her. And there was nobody there going, oh, go on, get off. They were all laughing with her and supportive. So, what if people aren't as horrible as you think they'll be if it doesn't go the way you expect it to? So like at the beginning when, this all kind of, we've had some interesting stuff with hangouts.
Yeah, we have.
Which is ironic, So when this, this is a being seen, being heard, having fun, and the Google Hangout was cancelled, and then the links didn't work, and then we had the extra noise, and then Fiona couldn't get on, and so it's like, it's so interesting how we block ourselves, and yet we're still here, we're still doing it, we're still clearing stuff, we're still creating change. And what else? What else is possible?
And it's that energy going back to Dane and his hi, it's like actually hi, we're still here. Okay, so the links went wrong, this went wrong, I couldn't get on, and it's like hi, we're still here, we're still here. Let's just ask this: would you anywhere and everywhere that you're not prepared to still be here? Still showing up in your life, still speaking, still being seen, no matter what's going on, no matter what you feel has fucked up in your life. We can just try and uncreate that.
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad. Because I think sometimes we can have these things happen, quote unquote, happen in our lives, and we're like, oh my God, I can't carry on. I can't see that person because this happened or that happened. And so the tools that we're using here are about the voice, but they also become about our lives. So in the same way as for us, if we're just prepared to be here, whatever happens, and the same with our lives, honestly, just willing to show up every day, no matter what happened the day before, no matter what happened the day before that. It's just like, hi, here I am again, and it didn't go as well as I hoped yesterday, but here I am again. We're still in the game of life, if you like. We're still we're still breathing, and so we're still carrying on and counting. Still creating.
Do you know the interesting thing around being heard in the world is the questions that we've had, because I've had two people email me, and to summarize both of them, they're both kind of talking about the issues around being seen in terms of weight and the body shape, in terms of age, in terms of what they look like. So, and I know in terms of having my voice out there, I've sung, I've actually been on stage at the Palladium with the Pet Shop Boys. It's like, how many people can say that? So
I could, but it would be a lie. Sorry. I've done that.
and
anyway,
and so all the time for me, I know having sung a couple of times in concert, live, solo, and all the time, what I'm more focused upon is, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. I'm too fat. I'm the wrong shape. I don't look classically good looking. I'm all of whatever it is. So for those people listening, it's like, how do we get over the willingness to stop judging our bodies in order for our voice to be heard, however that voice is?
Yeah, okay. So the first question with that is any of that not yours? So are you picking up on other people's judgments?
Yeah.
How much are we as a society obsessed with bodies? How much have we decided what's the perfect body, what isn't the perfect body, how the perfect body is thin typically? That's what people tell us. And that actually is just a result of the particular time we happen to live in society. hundreds of years ago, a more voluptuous body was considered really sexy and also considered wealthy. You know, if you had, you know, if you had the money, then you could eat more, and then you would have, you know, somebody like me would probably be considered poor because if I could eat more, I would be bigger. So,
Do you know what?
so everything that is, shall we destroy and uncreate it?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, political, natural, beyond. So, truth. How much are you picking up on other people's points of view about bodies in general?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, because
So are you willing to return all of that to the sender, if not just attached?
yes,
Thank you. Like not in that, but beyond. And so when we are up on stage, or for Alan and I in this situation, we'll tend to pick up on everything that's going on for the audience. And so if there's people in the audience who are like, oh, I'm a bit too fat for this dress, or oh, you know, whatever it is for us. Because how many people, when they go out, obsess about what they look like? And so there you are, up on stage, about to sing, and you're like, oh my God, my bum looking this, or whatever it is. And you know, that most likely is not even yours. You're picking up on all the people in the audience who are thinking that. And you know, it may not even be theirs. It's just how much we're bombarded by it all the time. We're bombarded by the quote-unquote perfect figure and all of that. So let's do this. So anywhere we bought the lie of what the perfect body needs to look like, what the perfect body shape is, how we should be, how we shouldn't be, what's too fat, what's too thin. Should we let go of all of that, create all of that?
yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong.
Because, you know, again, if I mentioned Placido Domingo at the beginning, and well, not at the beginning, but for earlier on. And you know, if you look at a lot of opera singers who have amazing voices, both men and women, a lot of them are not. They're not sylph-like, they're not skinny, but they have these amazing voices, and they can be incredibly sexy.
Mm.
You know, and it's just like, where are we misidentifying and misapplying body shape with being sexy? Which
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I remember really clearly reading or hearing Gary Douglas talk about this. He was sort of saying something like, "Oh, I was in a market somewhere, and I was wondering, well, who my body was attracted to. And first of all, it was an old lady, and then it was a young boy. And he was like, oh, what's going on here? What's going on here?" And it's something about, actually, it was the people who were really prepared to be in their body and enjoy their bodies. And so what if it's not so much, well, what if it's not about our body shape, not about actually how our body is? What if it's more about how we inhabit our bodies, how we're willing to be with our bodies, whether we're willing to have that, just that yummy state of our bodies? So everything that brings up should be destroyed and created.
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, and we're so often told it's not right to enjoy your body, it's wrong to enjoy your body. And I mean, I have those messages so strongly from my childhood. And it's like, as the tools of access and right voice for you have so dynamically unlocked that for me. And it's like way more nowadays. I'm just prepared to just enjoy my body, just be, okay, here I am, enjoying my body. And what if we could alter that way more?
Mm.
So anywhere that we draw the line, it's wrong to enjoy our bodies, it's wrong to be sexy, it's wrong to be sexual. Should we just let go of all of that? Destroy and uncreate all of that. Thank you. Right and wrong, doing that. Yeah, what if it's a gift? What if actually having a body is a yummy gift?
Absolutely.
And how many people see it like that? Yeah.
And how much fun can we have with our bodies when we get out of judgment? And how much of an invitation is it to other people not to judge their bodies when we don't judge our own body? And like you said, how much of that judgment is even ours? And you know, so okay.
And I'm just getting that sort of image, there's sort of some cartoon image of, you know, the sort of big woman standing on the scales looking happy, and then it's like 2 months later there she is like this, looking really unhappy. It's like, and it's like, what if it's, I mean, for me, it's a lie that being a certain body shape is going to make us happy. It's like our body is just desired to be different. My body is really happy being like this, and your body is happy being like that. And other people, it's like, it's not about let's all be thin, or let's all be fat, or let's all be this, or let's all be that. No, what if we can tune into our bodies and just see, what do you desire? And be in that space where we're more aware of what our bodies actually require.
Reading the, one thing that's really helped me with my body is is two books actually written by Dr. Dane here, and one of them is in the embodiment book, and the other one was You Changing the World. And I think, I can't remember if it's in one or both, and I'm sure, but wherever it is, I've heard the question, you wake up in the morning and you say to your body, hey body, what would you like to look like today? And then you destroy and uncreate all of the stuff you have that doesn't allow your body to look like what it would like to look like. Because let's face it, our bodies have consciousness. They have awareness, and they're just awesome and amazing things. And then what contribution can our bodies be for our voice that we've never acknowledged?
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. There's a lot.
Yeah. So all of that energy, shall we just call that creative?
Yeah.
And it's like, so when we're up there, say on stage singing, or when we're with friends singing, or whatever that is, or even for me, I used to find it uncomfortable being in a group of people, are they looking at me? And so if we are able to be in that yumminess of our body, I remember really clearly just walking into a room of people and just realizing I was willing for them to look at me. And for me, at the time, that was huge, because I realized that I spent so much time wanting to hide away, not wanting to be seen. So what if we could walk into the room or walk onto the stage when we're about to speak and just allow people to look at us? And for that, the more space we can be, the easier that is. And when I say space, what I mean by that is that we have our bodies and then our being. And our beings sometimes are so contracted that they're almost sort of hiding away within our bodies. And then at other times they can be so spacious that we can occupy planets, universes, galaxies. So let's do that now. So the more space we can all be on the hangout, the more we can all contribute to each other and receive for each other. Awesome. So let's just do that. Let's all just expand outward more.
And so what about...
more. Something that can allow us to occupy way more space. Should we destroy our space?
Yes. What about people who don't know what expand means?
Yeah, okay, good question. So, what we're talking about is the energy I don't have the words for it. So it's about, all that's coming to me is expand. Can you help me?
Yeah, so
you're on the spot. Yeah.
I'm multitasking.
Yeah, I know you're multitasking.
That's okay. Yeah. So for me, it's like expanding the energy, the being that you are, is not a cognitive thing. Mm-hmm. So really, when we say drop your barriers, so barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, and then just expand. And the thing is, the minute you say it, the minute you intend for your energy to expand, this is where I explain it to people, it does it.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to cognitive think about it. So everywhere that you are all kind of stressing about, am I expanding properly? I'm not expanding properly. Yeah. Whatever that is, everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate all of that? So yeah, superheroes of consciousness. Pop pop. So it's like, so just throughout the day, I will quite often barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, expand, especially when I'm feeling contracted and I'm feeling tight and I'm kind of in that, oh my God, people can see me, or whatever it is, or people can hear me, or they can't hear me, or blah, 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 and barriers down, expand.
Yes. Beautiful.
Mm. So bear with me as I multitask as I'm speaking to you. So something else occurred to me in terms of voice and stuff. And oops, hang on, sorry. Yes, hopefully that will work. So I wrote a couple of things down, and it's like the classes that you do introductions to is the right voice for you. How do we know what our right voice is? So it's like, how much do we judge ourselves about our tone of voice? If I'm a man, I should have a deep voice. If you know, what about my accent? You know, I for years as a young child, I had a very London accent, and I didn't use T's. I didn't use kind of TH. It was, you know, shut your mouth, and you know, and I really, really rejected all of that. And also, I know sometimes I sound like Julian Clary, and you know, I'm actually really comfortable with that now. But I used to really struggle with, oh my God, I sound really camp, and everyone's going to really hate me, and they're going to, you know, he's such a puff, and you know, all of that judgment. And I know none of that was mine, but it's like, so for all those people listening, how do we get out of judging our voice and what it sounds like?
So yeah, good. in a way, or in every way, that's what the whole of Right Voice for You is about. So it's like everything that we've done so far, the expanding out, the questions about are you willing to know that your voice matters, all of that is releasing judgment. So it's almost as though you're saying, in fact, let's do this. All the judgments that you have about your voice, how it sounds, how it doesn't sound, how you'd like it to sound, how you wouldn't like it to sound, any way you're making yourself right or wrong about how it sounds, are you willing to let go of all of that during and create yours?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. So that's kind of the direct question we can ask. And then, as I said, almost everything else that we're doing on the Hangout, it will contribute to it indirectly. And so we can be in the space. It's almost like that title, Right Voice for You. That's actually, there's a judgment sort of in the title that there is a right voice. What if there isn't a right voice? What if it's just how we happen to show up on the day? And what if our voices can be different from one day to the next? Well, so anywhere that we think that there's an end goal, that at some point we'll have the perfect voice and we'll be perfect at being on stage, perfect at singing, perfect at whatever it is, perfect at Google Hangouts, should we let go of that, join and create that?
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, doing that.
So,
and it's just about, and as well, just another practical tool. So for us here, if we're kind of at certain points, oh my God, what did that sound like? Oh my God, I wish my voice wasn't like this. It's just about, okay, so even as we're speaking, or for me, when I'm on stage and stuff, okay, what's going on here? Is this mine? No, it's not mine. Return to sender. And then, oh, what is that? Let's try and uncreate that. So I'm continually asking questions so that I can be that space where I'm not judging me, where I'm not judging anything about what's going on. So it is also just about asking questions to interrupt that judgment.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? For me, you know, finding the tools of access consciousness has been such a gift. And I know at first, when I first started using them, I didn't use them anywhere near as much as I use them now. And I use them all day, every day for everything that's happening. You know, I'm constantly asking questions, podpocking, who does that belong to? All of the, what I would call the you know, the bread and butter, the tools which are awesome, which you learn in the foundation and level 1. And also some of the other classes like, you know, Right Voice for You. And, you know, for anyone listening, what I would say to you is the more you use these tools, the easier it gets to remember to use them. Because, you know, it's like people say to me, you know, how on earth do you remember to ask all those questions all the time? Practice. It's like going to the gym. You know, you start doing it, and you start doing it and you keep doing it, and the more you do it, the easier it gets, the more it becomes second nature, and also eventually you get to the point where you don't even need to ask a question. You get
yeah, you become the question. Yeah.
So in terms of let's just kind of take this into more practical terms. If somebody wanted to find out more about how they can use their voice or love their voice and embrace their voice, however that they choose to get that out in the world, writing, speaking, pottery, whatever it is, is that the kind of thing that Right Voice for You would give to them, and how could they go about getting a class for that?
Yes, absolutely. So it's called Right Voice for You, obviously, but it's very more than just the spoken word voice. So it can be about writing poetry, writing a novel, or about art. So it can be about all of that. So it's anything creative, really. And we also we just talked about our bodies. So it can also be about how we are with our bodies, how we move. Because as you brought out so beautifully, everything to do with our bodies also affects our voice. So it's about all of that. And what was your question? Going on to something else.
So let's what question can we ask that would create the most? So how would someone go about exploring this so that they can, get more in touch with their voice, however they would like, how would people do that? Stop.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot here, actually. How would you like to be facilitated in either saying something or saying something, so I can give you a practical example of how Right Voice for You tools work with the voice speaking. Okay. You don't have to sing, you can speak. Are you up for that?
I would definitely be up for that, because I think that let's do singing. Let's kind of go with that. So I don't know how good the quality. So here I'm already going into. I don't know how good the quality will be, and blah blah blah. So
yeah, so let's do that. So all of that. I'm not sure how good it is, and for me, I've never done this online before, and maybe we were even told we shouldn't do it online. Blah blah blah. All of that. Shall we let go of that? Just join and create that.
Yes.
Thank you. Right and wrong, really bad, but it's all cool and so this is about energy. Everything is about energy. So if the sound quality isn't perfect, if it were better if we were all in the same room and all of that, in a way, so what? Here is where we are, and this will give people a taste of what Right Voice can do, actually sort of live, if you like, facilitating the voice.
Okay. All right. So I shall sing.
Okay, so let me just ask you, so Alun, are you willing to sing for us?
Yes.
Yes, so everything that brings up, just that question brings up, really just throw in and create it.
Yes.
Thank you. Right now I'm doing that, Alun, will you sing for us?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Okay. Smile though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through. If you smile. There you go.
Thank you. I wish I had the round of applause when I did.
Wait, if you can, let me show you how to find that. So excuse us as we do a little bit of a technical stuff. On the left-hand side of your screen, you have a little where the toolbox was. There's another one that says Google Effects.
Okay, so there we are. So yeah, you have a great voice.
Thank you.
And thank you for singing for us. So, how did that feel for you?
I was going into judgment quite a lot when I heard my say, here we go. So immediately I'm going, oh, well, that was kind of okay. There was some nice vibrato in there. I was quite pleased with that. And then there was some bits where I know I went off key and it's like, oh God, that's the only thing that everyone's going to remember. And, he looked really stupid and
Yeah, so all of that, I was off key, somewhere it was good, somewhere it was bad, blah, 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 blah. Are you willing to let go of that, explain all of that?
yes.
Thank you, right and wrong, didn't that? Would you be willing to sing that really badly?
so yes, I would. Someone's just put bravo.
Bravo, yes, bravo, bravo. Yeah, fantastic, yeah. So it's like we were saying, as long as you're in that space of it has to be perfect, I have to get the vibrato right, I have to get the note right here, then it stops you being you. So everything that is
yes, I will.
Thank you, right and wrong, isn't that? Okay, so what I'm going to suggest is that when you pull into your body all the people who are heartbroken in London, all the heartbroken people in the city of London, all that energy of desperation, of heartbreak, that longing, pull all of that into your body. Anything that doesn't allow that to release. So would you like to sing to us again from that space?
Okay. Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through. If you just smile. Ooh.
Yes! Thank you. I'm not multitasking enough to do that. Yeah. So it's like as soon as you started, it was completely different. So how did that feel for you?
It was very different. It was different. Yeah, it was. I can't even tell you what the difference was. It just felt more space.
Yeah. And for me, it's like, so that is the beauty. So it just feels like there's something about you we're more prepared to be seen. And it's like you asked me, well, how does that happen? And in a way, it's magic. These tools are sometimes magic. And I love everything about Right Voice for You. There is something about somebody being quote unquote on stage or being like you have been on this hangout and singing or speaking, and that change that can come through the facilitation. So
yeah.
that's kind of the magic. And as we're willing to be that on stage, so we can be more willing to be that in our lives. So when you were singing then, what was all that kind of mind chatter about, I wonder if I've got the right notes, I wonder what my vibrato is like. Yeah, exactly.
When?
So it's like we can get to the point where we actually don't care what people are thinking. We're just enjoying. So were you enjoying your voice?
I was. It was actually, It was a joy to hear it. And that almost at the point of acknowledging, actually, do you know what? That was actually really soft, very gentle, there was a real nice tone and energy to it that I really enjoyed listening to.
Mm. Yeah, I did too. And it's something about, for me, yes, the tone was more there, the vibrato was there, whatever that was, but that wasn't actually what it was. It was something about, there was something more of you in it, and it's quite definable with. But what it often is for me with Right Voice for You is that my body will get goosebumps when somebody is willing to step into being more of them in front of other people, and I had that there. And it's like, for me, this is the magic of Right Voice for You. And there's something about, well, we called the hangout being seen, being heard, having fun. So was it more fun for you the first time or the second time?
Oh, definitely the second time.
Yeah, and so that's the beauty as well. It's like when we let go of all of that, when we let go of the control, when we let go of, oh, I wish my voice was like this, I wish it was like that, I wonder how the grass will be, I wonder if my bum, we can't see your bum actually, I wonder if my face is good in this, you know, whatever that is. Actually, how much did you care about what people were thinking about your head or whatever, you know, whatever it was? That, yeah, exactly. And so that can be the beauty when we go beyond caring what people think of our voice, of how we look. And that can be the freedom. And in a way, so we do call it Right Voice for You. It is about the voice. But it's also about that freedom that we have with our voice. So the freedom you found when you were singing the second time. What if we could have that freedom in our lives? What if we could just go through our lives not caring what other people think, just being ourselves? And for me, as I'm more prepared to do that, that's where the beauty and the magic and the miracles and the yumminess can show up.
It's that energy for me of vulnerability, of, you know, the second time the barriers were much more down, and that willingness to be vulnerable and go, do you know what, I'm doing this because it is fun for me, because I do love doing it, and you know what, you can judge me, and yes, I may not be at this moment as good a singer as, say, Placido Domingo, and it's not about comparing, it's just about, you know, that may be the case. And you know what? That's okay for me. I'm willing to still do it because I know that, you know, I love doing it, and I know that there's value in me being willing to be vulnerable, because then I can be that invitation for other people to be that vulnerable with themselves and go, do you know what? What else can I do that I've been stopping myself from doing it because I've been judging myself?
Yes, absolutely. Beautiful. And I just want to say, so for everybody who's watching now and everybody who's watching in the future, one beautiful thing about this work is that any of you who are willing to have the change that Alan just had will get that change too. So you don't have to be singing on a Google Hangout or the person who's singing on stage in a class to just get the change. Actually, that change is available for anybody in the audience at any time who desires that. So how beautiful is that? And another way you can ask for that change, what would it take for me to have that energy that Alan had every time he was singing? What would it take for me not to care about how I sound, how I look? So we can just ask for it in that way. So then let's just, and so should we just try and create that ending that doesn't allow that for all of us?
Yes.
Thank you, So you can just ask that, what would it take to stop judging me? What would it take to stop judging my voice? What would it take to stop judging my body? You can actually ask those really simple, direct questions.
So we're coming to the end, and I just want to I am going to do some very shameless promotion. Fiona is doing...
Let's go for it. Let's shamelessly promote.
Let's bring in that energy, pulling it in. So yeah, so Fiona's doing a tour of the whole of the north of England. You are doing the whole of the north of England. You do know that now.
The whole of the north of England. No city will be untouched by Right Voice for You.
So you can find details of that on Fiona's website, which is fionacutsenergyhealing.co.uk.
Yeah.
And you can go to one of the Right Voice for You classes that are there. Another way, I'm going to do some shameless promoting for myself as well, is whilst I'm not a Right Voice for You facilitator, I am, I'm a certified coach and I'm a bars facilitator. So,
and you're awesome.
And I'm awesome. I am awesome. And you know what? So are you. So, and everyone who's listening, I'm talking to all of you who are watching this now and in the future, you are awesome. And, one of the best ways that I've found to get out of judging yourself is to go and get your bars run. So, So yeah, go to a Right Voice for You class with Fiona if you're in the UK or you want to fly to the UK, or if wherever the country you are, I'm sure you can find a facilitator there. Or I know that Fiona is very happy to fly around the world facilitating.
I am.
So it's like, how much more of you are you willing to have in your life? And are you willing to stand up and kind of like just have your voice? Because, doing this exercise, I never thought I would do it online to potentially, that will go all the way around the world.
Millions. Who knows who will see this?
Yeah, exactly. So you know, that willingness to go, "Do you know what, I'm willing just to receive all the judgment that people chuck at me for this. Bring it on." So yeah, go to a Right Voice for You class with Fiona or another facilitator. Come and have your bars run with me, or class with me, or just have a coaching session with me, or just, you know, just go and be awesome wherever it is you are.
So I do decide to say something else actually, which is about the classes in London. So I particularly, because we do have the ones in the north of England, and we have 2 opportunities coming up in London. And one of them is at the Mega Access Share Day, which is the chance to swap and share bars, find out about access. And then in the evening, there'll also be a chance to receive facilitation. And I'm going to be doing an hour of Right Voice for You on Sunday the 14th, I think it is, Sunday the 14th of June. And then in August, there's a chance to do a longer Right Voice for You class in London. So I just wanted to particularly mention those because, well, London's the capital. So we do have the north of England, but we also have those chances in London too.
Absolutely. And I'm in London, so
and you're in London, so how's it get any better than that?
So, as we kind of come to a close for this hangout, you know, I just want to thank you, Fiona, so much for everything that you've contributed to, not just to me, but to everyone on the hangout, for taking your time out to do this, for you know, just being the awesomeness that you are, and your willingness to be totally out of judgment and in allowance of the people that you're facilitating, because I've seen you facilitate lots of people, and you know, and I've been facilitated by you tonight on behalf of not just me but everyone here. So thank you for that. It is truly awesome what you are contributing to the world.
Thank you so much. Well, in case anyone wonders, I love doing this. I particularly love Right Voice for You. I mean, I adore all the tools and classes of access, but there's something really special to me about Right Voice for You, and I guess you've all had a glimpse of that, and it is that moment when the person is willing to step into being way more of them. And for me, Right Voice for You is actually, it's like access consciousness on steroids. There's something about the voice and the vulnerability that allows the change to just happen really dynamically, as we just saw with Alan. Like, how's it getting better than that?
How does it?
How does it, Alan? How does it?
So everybody, thank you for taking part, for helping us, because you know, if you weren't watching, then you know, it would just be me and Fiona. So and that would be great, because you know, we have a lot of fun, but you know,
we've enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah. So whether you're watching now or in the future or watching it again, thank you for the contribution that you be. Thank you for the vulnerability that you be. You know, sincerely hope that this has been a contribution for you. And you know, if we can be of any more help, then please just let us know.
Yeah.
But my gin and tonic glass is getting empty, and I can smell my dinner being cooked. So and Eurovision is calling.
Eurovision is calling.
So London calling.
Okay, thanks so much, Alan.
All right, thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.